All right, guys, we are here with Thomas Veeramani, who just got top 8 in the Providence, Rhode Island Regional. What were you playing?
I was playing Voiceless, a deck that I really love, a deck that I've been playing for a very long time. I've been playing it since it came out in February. I got top 32 at YCS Rally with this.
Nice.
So this is a deck that means a lot to me, a deck I've obviously played and studied a lot. So I'm really happy that I can get success with it again after it's not been very relevant since. Real quick, shout outs to my boy Alec, shout out to his boys, Max and Andy and Dante, shout out my boys, Rob, Owen, Tom, Jabin, I got so many people I gotta shout out to the Davids, you know who you are, shout out to my co-workers, Brianna Landry, Michael, Evan, Nian. Shout out to my besties Luna and Kimmy. Shout out to Sergio. Shout out, if I forget you, I am so sorry. It's not personal. Shout out to Frankie, Eric Vancia, Logan, who topped with me, who's gonna be on this channel. Thank you for giving me the time. And shout out to the most beautiful bird in the world, Robin. All right, so let's get started with these cards. I got 3 low. Standard, nothing too crazy, nothing you're gonna blow your mind with, 3 low, 3 Saphira. I got the 2 rituals. These are in the wrong order, but that's okay. We're gonna make this work somehow. Here we go. We got the ritual count. I played the Odd Eyes because this is actually a really good card into Tempai. With the new continuous spell, you get a chance to make a 3rd ritual summon or a 3rd ritual monster pretty easily. So this is what this is used for. It's also kind of a time card, unfortunately, but this deck doesn't really do too well in time. It's not really reliable. So I try to avoid it can, but having another interaction is always great. I try to play this deck on the safer side. I don't play a lot of cute cards like other engines. I try to keep it simple, and I feel like this is the best build. And then I play the 3 Roblets. I got Robs 1, 2, and 3. Really underrated card in the deck. And if I don't open low, I'm gonna open this. Sometimes opening both kind of sucks, but it's not the worst. Obviously, you play the trios with it. The one Old Man. I really like the Old Man. I hate drawing him, but he's a great extender with the trap. Sometimes you need another level 7 that's not a ritual to use him as a ritual summon, so he's good for that. Pretty standard. Do that. The 2 ritual spell. The 1 trap. Nothing crazy. Same stuff. This card's super good, underrated. Always love making that card. And 3 pre-prep because we need to see our engine. Because if we don't see our engine, then we lose. Unfortunately, this deck can't bridge random cards together like Fiendsmith can. But we do our best. Unfortunately, I did lose. I think it was 6 out of 8 die rolls, which statistically this deck has a very bad blind second matchup, but I try to incorporate some cards to counter that. Card like Baylor, pretty simple, pretty standard. Ash, Nibiru, and then unfortunately this is kind of the same thing from the YCS where the thing was 3 Super Poly. Super Poly was really good. It didn't do as much as I wanted, but every time I saw it, it was playable. It's playable into Yubel, it's playable into Tenpai, it's playable into Fiendsmith, depending on the targets. So it's still not nearly as good as it used to be, but it's still good enough. I feel like you need to play, if you're not going to play a separate engine, I feel like board breaking, at least 1 board breaker, with how little the main deck engine is pretty good. So don't regret playing that at all. Got my boys here. Shout out to my boy Remy. Shout out to Moa Shai. Then we got Anima, SP. Pretty standard. You got the Charmers. Pretty standard. Good for access code plays. Good for or going to SP plays if you can't get it. Denamondo, still as crazy as it's ever been. If you noticed, I'm going straight to Link 3 because I don't play IP. I don't think that card is very good in this deck, but I can understand if people want to play it. I just making it simple. Celine and Max Code line. At the YCS, I really didn't like this card, but after playing Valor, I cut the Unicorn for the Celine, so that makes a lot more sense. I don't really make these cards too often, but then again, you don't really use your extra deck that much, so it's just nice to have as an option. This is for Diviner, obviously, not going to be the most used. Is for Odd Eyes into Tempai. This is for Diviner again. Super play targets. Got the Mud Dragon, the Garura, and the Administrator Golem. For the second big turn in a row, I don't think I've made this guy like once, ever. I think I made him like at locals. I think I made him against this guy right here, Alec, like once. You know, shout out to my boy Alec. Get your but stick to your work. Anyways, Typhon. Yeah, anyways. Typhon was actually like pretty good. He's not as bad as most people make him out to be.
Any weird scenarios he came up in?
Typhon is kind of interesting. Like, there were times where there was a game where I had the trap set and I had a Seravis, like the Ritual Seravis and the Ritual Skull Garden. I didn't have a low engrave or on field, so the Skull Garden was actually 2050. So I was able to make the Typhon over the Seravis and use that. Then I used the trap to summon the low on their turn and make goes back to 4100. Now the effects are still negated from the trap or from the Typhon, but it's still like put the low in the continuous, and I can still make some plays. You have to get rid of the Typhon if they want to make their big monsters activate, like Flamebridge. So, like, that was pretty good. Typhon is just a good, like, last card, like, to play, or I bricked, like, I go to someone low, then permanent, and I don't have anything else. All right, Typhon, like, see if you can out it. It gives me a turn. It does give me a turn. Did, like, help me live against Chimera in my second round, so that was good, but yeah, it's all right.
Nice.
Onto the side deck. I got, this was a mag, I mean not bag, juice one. Another juice one and a mag, pretty standard. Biscuits were kind of not used now that I think about it. I was getting to Ubel, but like, it wasn't good enough. Like, honestly, if I'm gonna target Ubel exactly with these Bestials, I kind of want something else. Fiendsmith without Lacrima, and when they go straight to Desiree, I don't really feel like I need the Bestials to beat that, but I think there's better cards, so maybe not in future builds, but we'll see. Pretty standard back row removal, Cyclone, HFD, you know, it is what it is. Get into you bells. D-Barrier, mostly for Whitewoods and pretty much any other synchro deck. You know, the irregular branded matchup, or just like a deck that plays a weird extra deck type, but, you know, didn't see it. Actually, now that I think about it, did I activate this card once? I think I activated it once. And just skipped their turn, and that was good enough, but because like
Got your top 8.
You'd be surprised how little of that regional I remember. Shout out to my homegirl Kimmy for making me play a regional with 4 hours of sleep. Tweaky Dogwood, activated this card. Activated this card once, and then they didn't special summon, so I got knocked for 4,000 life points, and that was my draw. So you know what? I got punished for playing a time card. You know, I hate time cards, and you know what? That's my karma. The moment I play this card, I get immediately knocked, so whatever. And then the MVP of the tournament, Triple Raigeki. Raigeki was good every game I saw it. The only game I didn't use it and I saw it was my round 7 against Jose, because he went first, he set one pass, and I'm like, all right, well, don't need this card, I guess. So that's the only time it was bad, but like, you know.
For the viewers back home, who's Jose?
My Lord and Savior, the light of my life, Jose Santiago, top 4 worlds. Talk to him nice, bro. But, you know, had to play him, had to beat him, so it is what it is. But, yeah, final shout-outs. If I haven't already shouted you out, I am so sorry. I'm trying to remember everybody right now. My boys Hector, you know, Martinez Morrison, you know. I'm gonna, like, hate myself afterwards for not remembering you guys, but, like, Ross, everybody who comes out to Battleground Games and Hobbies, you know, my work. And, yeah. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hopefully see you at the next top.
Thanks for the deck profile.
It's done, bro. It's done.